guys, today I have part one of December 25th. I had quite a bit of photos and stuff to do, so I decided to break this up into two parts to make it a little bit shorter for viewing and not be too overwhelming. So the good news is that means we are going to go all the way up to the end of November with the December Daily mini marathon, which is perfect timing for the start of our 2016 album. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I decided to break this up and it worked out perfectly. So on this one, what I'm doing actually is this is a 4x6 photo and I printed on my Canon Selfie, and the Canon Selfie, as most of you guys know, does not print true 4x6 photos. So what I do sometimes is I will back it with some paper, and in this case I didn't want to use paper from my stash, some of the pattern paper. So what I did was I took some washi tape and put that on the edge and then put the photo on top, and then now it looks like there is some paper in the back, or pattern paper in the back. And I think that's a good tip if you're trying to extend your stash or if you have lots and lots of washi, and just to tie in the pages from the rest of the book with the washi tape. So now I am just placing on some stickers. These gold stickers came in the Target dollar spot last year, and I love them. They're so pretty and they are perfect to go with this page. You can see I have a lot left. I didn't use a whole lot of them, but I do really like them. I just found that I wasn't able to incorporate them as much as I was hoping, but I do really think they're pretty. So on the top card I have two pictures of some of my critters, my one cat Denali and my dog Indy, and the 25 sticker I just put on top of a strip of washi tape. I didn't want it to look floating, so that's why it's there. I'm going to take this strip of Christmas lights and put it in the top left of this top card. And then I think this card is pretty much going, or this page is pretty much going to be done. And you're going to see me using a lot of the number 25 here. In these collections, you always get so many number 25s. And I thought, well, you know, since I have so many of them, I'm just going to stick them on pretty much every page of my 25 day. And it's going to work perfectly. And earlier in this series, I did use a 25 card. And I said the title of that card, or the title of that page, was Getting Ready for December 25. So that's another good way to use your number 25 if there's a lot of them in the collection you're using. So that one is that. Now I'm going to take these two 4x6 photos and I'm going to glue them together. And I like how this looks. And I'm just going to punch holes in the side of it later on, and this entire little 4x6 sandwich is going to go as a page in my album. And what I'm doing now is taking this number 25 wood veneer, and I'm taking my Versamark ink pad and I'm getting that all sticky, and then I'm going to be embossing this with some gold embossing powder. And what I end up doing to make sure that it has a really nice thick coat is I will put the powder on, I will heat up the number, and then I will come back, and as the number is still warm from my heat gun, I will keep dipping it over and over again until I get a nice, really thick kind of coat that looks kind of like an enamel. And that's a good tip too if you're trying to cover it up and you don't want some of those little textures and divots that you get sometimes. And if you like that texture, then definitely just keep it that way. But if you want it to be a little bit more smoother look, just add more coats of your embossing powder. So now I'm just taking that little gold sticker that says Season's Greetings and putting it on top of that. And now it's a cute little flip page that's going to go in my album. So next I'm going to be moving on to another page here with my daughter that she is opening some Christmas presents, and then my daughter and the cat. I took this card here, and as you can see I did some surgery on it. I took my X-Acto knife and I trimmed out the presents. I wanted that photo to fit, and I wanted the photo to kind of tuck behind the presents instead of being on top of the presents because I didn't want to cover it up. And I'm going to struggle a little bit with that card. I didn't really like how it was looking. It just looked a little funny, kind of like floating, or just weird that it was behind the presents. So I'm going to eventually find a piece of paper that I can kind of tuck behind there first to anchor it a little bit better, and then put the photo on top of it. But first I'm going to move on to something else, and there is my kitty cat helping. I am going to start looking around, seeing what I can do. It's really bothering me, that top right picture. So here I go. I'm going to try to play with some different things to see what I can do to make it look better. I am not going to go with that strip. I'm going to find another piece of paper that has this music notes on it, and I just trimmed it to fit behind those presents. You can see the white border around it, and then I'm going to pop my picture there, and I just like how that looks a lot better. I don't know, there's something about the last version of it that just wasn't doing something for me. So now I'm just gluing everything down. I did a lot of surgery on this particular card, but in the end I really kind of like how it turns out, so it worked out. So like I said, I'm just going to finagle that for a bit. I'm going to take some washi tape and put it in the top right of that picture, and in the bottom left, I think I was trying to cover up some of the place where I had to trim it, and it wasn't quite, the paper wasn't quite meeting all the way down the bottom. So that's a little way to band-aid that. And then I'm taking this word phrase here, I'm going to add a little star on top and then the number 25 below. And it kind of reminds me of a little bit of a Christmas tree, very, very loosely, but I like how that looks. And there's that blank space there where that TV cabinet is. So I wanted to kind of cover that up, and so that you focus on the little journaling or the little word strip and then my daughter instead of the blank cabinet in the back. I added that little 25 brad there to the top left. It's one of those sticky back brads that don't have the prongs. And there's that number 25. And it just kind of reminds me of a Christmas tree, that shape. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this and stick this down. It is a chipboard piece, and that does have adhesive on it, but it never sticks quite as well as I'd hope. So I always add a little bit of liquid glue on the back of my chipboard pieces. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else I want to add. I'm going to add that word Noel. I am going to add a word sticker, I think, that says toys in the top right of the top left photo. And I think once I put toys on, I think I'm close to being done with this particular page. Yes, so here's some close-ups. And then I will move on to the, I believe, last page of this particular video. This is a picture at my parents' house. This is a picture of me, my mom, and my daughter. And I'm going to take this little word strip and cut it in half. So it says Merry Christmas. It's a little hard to see on the video, but I'm going to stack that in the bottom right or the bottom photo in the bottom right corner. And like I said, it just says Merry Christmas. And these are from Pink Paisley from several years ago I had in my stash. I never used them in my 2014 album, so I used them in my 2015. And I'm just playing with some wood veneers. I'm going to end up not putting any of those on. I just didn't really like how that looked. So I'm going to move on to the top left card and the top right. The top left, I'm going to take one of these frames. I had a lot of frames in my stash. I didn't use as many as I was hoping to. There's a lot of red ones, and that red color, it just seemed to not be the right red, even though it was from the same collection, that Claus & Company collection I used. I don't know, there was something about it, just didn't look quite right. It didn't match right. So I didn't use a lot of the red ones. Some of the ones that had some red accents were good, but the full red ones just didn't seem to look right. They were a little bit, I don't know, just off color. So I'm just mounting this photo. I thought that it looked a little bit too blendy in the background, so I mounted it on some white paper and I added some washi tape to kind of ground it. Again, I used one of those cards that had a day number on it, but it wasn't a day that I needed anymore. So I just covered it up and used the card background with the polka dots on it. I like how that turned out. Like I said, I have my mom framed out in that Claus & Company frame. I added that silver word sticker, and then I'm going to look at these clear stickers. I really like these, but I also struggled using these too. I'm not sure why. I really like how they look, but I just didn't seem to use them as much as I was hoping to. But on this page, I do use a couple of them, I think. I use that number 25 and then the word Merry. I'm going to place that on the top left card in a second here. I wanted to put there, I just didn't like how it ended up looking, so I'm going to stick it over there on the left. And I wanted to move it, but it was already stuck, so it is staying. And I think I am going to add a star, and then this page is going to be done. Oh, I do have, oh no, this is it. So I'm going to add the star, and that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Part 2 will be up tomorrow, and I would like any comments you might have to just leave them below. I love hearing from you guys and talking to you. If you liked the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if there's any questions you have about anything I did today on this layout or anything else in my December 2015 album, just leave that below as well. I will talk to you guys again very, very soon, and have a great day. Bye-bye.